Vegeta vs. Beerus. The battle finally takes place. Vegeta, the prince of the Saiyans who saw his planet destroyed by Frieza, the emperor of the universe. Vegeta was killed by Frieza in the past and failed to avenge his race, but the Prince of Saiyans always knew the whole truth. The one who knew death once and has been through all the toughest places is now back. Vegeta prepares himself face to face with the Destroyer. Vegeta wants to put an end to the matter of eliminating planet Vegeta. The planet of the Saiyans had been destroyed years ago by Frieza. For a long time, everyone believed that Frieza was the real villain of everything. But Frieza already knew Beerus the Destroyer. Frieza knew that Beerus was the one who could finish off any other being that showed up. Frieza knew that Beerus possessed the energy of destruction, and any order Beerus made, everyone would obey. Beerus was the one who was considered the Destroyer, and everyone was afraid. Beerus's great and monstrous power was being raised to a greater extent each time. What was Beerus planning on doing all this time? What was Beerus's true ideal? The Great Destroyer knew that at any moment he could wipe out any other being, but Beerus was lazy. He always wanted to let others make his ideals true. The Cold Demon race has always been a destructive race that wanted to conquer planets. Frieza and King Cold, as per their orders, wanted things to happen their way. That's why Beerus ordered the race of Saiyans to be eliminated, because that would bring balance. According to their reasoning, Saiyans could no longer exist because they believed that at any moment Saiyans could want to wipe out each other or destroy all of humanity. That was the thoughts of the Cats of Destruction. Shortly after that, Beerus arrives at Frieza and speaks. "Coldness, you should finish and eliminate everyone now. Your powers should be quite interesting. It would be cool for you to show your true energy. The power of destruction. I want you to now elevate your powers more and more. That will be very interesting. Show me everything you are capable of. I want to see what level you will reach." At that instant, Beerus starts smiling in front of Frieza. Frieza began to reflect. Frieza had been created to be the great destroyer of everything. Frieza was destroying everything he saw ahead. His father King Cold looked at his son Frieza and spoke. "You know we have a rather unusual goal, don't you? You know very well the reality you were brought into and why your objective must be achieved, my son. Finish them all. Let's go. Show your true strength. You are the one who will destroy anyone. Show yourself what you're capable of." At that moment, Frieza began to laugh. Frieza knew that Bardock had already suspected everything that was about to happen and the betrayal and his true goals. At that moment, Frieza started to smile. Until the next day, Frieza destroyed the Saiyan planet. Vegeta was part of Frieza's army. Ever since that day, Vegeta has thought of revenge against Frieza. Vegeta for years trained his power until the moment he was sent to Earth and discovered that there were Saiyans who were more powerful than him. Vegeta was in disbelief when he saw the powers being shown directly by Goku. It was his toughest fight yet. Vegeta did not accept Goku being a low-class Saiyan, and even so, having managed to surpass his powers. Since then, Vegeta started to want to get more and more powerful, but Goku's kindness as time went by allowed Vegeta to stop being an evil warrior. Vegeta saw the death of Frieza, and after several events, Vegeta ended up having a relationship with Bulma and fought to protect the Earth for several years, until the moment he became enraged again and wanted to settle accounts with Goku. Time went by and Vegeta accepted at that time that Goku was stronger, but soon after discovering that he had latent powers, he did not accept being left behind Goku. Until the moment when Vegeta faces Beerus, the one he always knew was the true mastermind of destroying his planet. Vegeta didn't know what to do. Vegeta for a certain time was trained by Beerus. At the time, Vegeta was trained by Beerus. He knew that as time went by, he would get stronger and stronger. Now Vegeta is face to face with the god of destruction. Does Vegeta now have the necessary powers to defeat Beerus? This is what Beerus has been waiting for. Vegeta says, "Beerus the Destroyer! Haha! Now we will put an end to this story." Beerus starts to laugh and says, "Very insightful, Vegeta. This will be perfect." Alright partner, why don't you whack that like button and subscribe to the channel so you don't miss any videos and stay on top of our entire universe of Z Warriors. Let's get back to it. Vegeta charges forward, running towards Beerus. Beerus looks at Vegeta and speaks. "Haha, you mean you got that powerful? Who would imagine a being who for the first time he saw me was scared to death and didn't know where to move could get so far? I'm glad for that, Vegeta. You really do have the blood of a destroyer in your veins. It seems that the determination that Saiyans have is incredible. This is really fascinating." Vegeta initially activates his Ultra Ego and starts trying to land several punches on Beerus. Beerus dodges it several times and tells Vegeta, "Pay close attention. Analyze this a lot. Do you think that only with that power you would be able to defeat a god of destruction? This turns out to be very funny." Beerus starts landing several blows on Vegeta, causing Vegeta to be thrown into the rubble of planet Beerus. Goku watches and speaks. It gets surreal. It seems that the powers that a god possesses become greater and greater. Whis watches and speaks. Let's not forget that Mr. Beerus ended up training in the room of the gods before entering this celestial war. It seems that Mr. Beerus knew that extremely powerful warriors would appear, so it's no wonder that he had already prepared. But I never imagined that he believed that Mr. Vegeta could cause much trouble. At that moment, Goku says, maybe he wasn't thinking about Vegeta, but he could already imagine that Vegeta would want to have that reckoning before actually entering a war. Whis watches and says, Mr. Beerus, the god, spent a long time thinking about this from the moment he came to Earth. When he fought Lord Goku, he was going to destroy the Earth, but it seemed that something about Lord Goku and the Earthlings caused Lord Beerus's heart to soften. So that's why he's having this fight with Vegeta, because maybe even that wasn't supposed to happen. At that moment, Vegeta starts to have a big advantage over the fight against Beerus. Vegeta says, "Now, you will witness the second stage of my Ultra Ego, Beerus the Destroyer." Beerus starts laughing and says, "Does that mean that you managed to master even that?" At that moment, Vegeta activates his Ikari Ultra Ego form alongside Beerus. Vegeta says, "Get ready now, Beerus. Receive my most powerful blow. Final Flash!" At that moment, a great Final Flash is thrown at Beerus the Destroyer, and Beerus takes the full blow. Goku watches and says, "This is amazing. Was Vegeta really able to defeat Mr. Beerus?" At that moment, Whis watches and says, "I wouldn't boast so soon, Mr. Goku." At that moment, Beerus appears with an enraged face and says, "You really aren't fighting with all your might. You must have learned that from Goku. Do you really think that using half your strength, you will be able to beat me?" At that moment, great explosions begin to happen on the planet Beerus, and Beerus advances on Vegeta, dragging his face along the ground and throwing him away. Vegeta says, "What? Impossible!" Beerus watches and speaks. "Before I finish you off, I'm going to explain something, Vegeta. Saiyans that you know weren't always those Saiyans that were always just looking to conquer planets. A rebellion against the gods themselves would happen in the past, and one of these beings that King Vegeta himself, his father, knew was under the command of the other Saiyans. This Saiyan was much more powerful than his own father and made him a puppet." Who is Beerus talking about? At that moment, Vegeta watches and says, "What are you talking about?" Whis observes and speaks. So does that mean he's going to reveal everything? Beerus says, "Now you will know and know the real story of the true supreme God Saiyan. That God who was from another universe and he alone ended up becoming the supremacy of Universe 7. To be continued. What is Beerus up to with all this? Who is this Saiyan God? What does he have to do with the destruction of planet Vegeta? Alright partner, what do you believe and what do you imagine about this situation? Regardless of what it is, it's more than important that you share your thoughts in the comments below so we can get into a crazy debate. Whack that like button and subscribe to the channel so you don't miss any videos. That's all there is to it, and I'll catch you in the next one. Goodbye.